stop to think about how just one person can actually shape the entire scientific future of a nation? It's a huge question, right? Well, the answer, or at least a big part of it, can be found in the life of one incredible individual, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, who was truly the architect of modern Indian science. I mean, just look at this title he earned, Father of Research Laboratories. That is a serious legacy. It's not something you get by accident. So how on earth did a chemist, an academic, end up building something so massive, so foundational, that it's still shaping science in India today?
To understand the architect, you first have to understand the scientist. You see, his story doesn't start in some big government office or a boardroom. Nope, it starts where all great science does, in the lab. Okay, so let's look at his early journey. He was born back in 1894, and after his father passed away when he was young, his grandfather, an engineer, really nurtured his fascination with science and building things. And that early passion just lit a fire under him. The guy was on a roll. A bachelor's in physics, then a master's in chemistry, and he topped it all off with a doctorate from University College London. All of this by the time he was just 27 years old.
And listen, his brilliance wasn't just theoretical stuff trapped in textbooks. In 1928, he co-developed this amazing piece of equipment. It was a super sensitive instrument for measuring magnetism, one of the best of its time, and it was so good they actually sold it commercially. This device really put him on the map and cemented his reputation as a top-tier mind in the world of magnetochemistry. But this is where his story takes a really fascinating turn. See, Bhatnagar wasn't the kind of guy who was just happy to stay in the ivory tower of academia. He was about to show everyone that pure, hard science could solve some really messy, really expensive, real-world problems. So check out this story. It's the perfect example of his genius. You've got this oil company and they are completely stuck. Every time they drill, the mud they use hits salt water and turns into this thick gunk, clogging up the drills and bringing their whole operation to a standstill. It was a massive industrial headache. Bhatnagar looked at it and basically said, oh, that's just a colloid chemistry problem. And his solution? So simple, yet so brilliant. He just added a specific Indian gum to the mix. It worked like a charm, and the company was absolutely blown away. They were so grateful, in fact, that they offered him a personal reward of 150,000 rupees. Now, you have to understand, that was an astronomical amount of money back then, a life-changing fortune. But what Bhatnagar did with it, well, that tells you everything you need to know about his character. He turned it down. He refused to take a single rupee for himself. Instead, he poured every last bit of it into creating a brand new petroleum research department at his university. This act of integrity was a huge deal, and people noticed. The famous physicist Meghnad Saha actually wrote to him saying this. He was essentially telling him, you've single-handedly made university research respectable and valuable in the eyes of the public. He wasn't just solving one company's problem. He was building a bridge, proving that academia and industry needed each other.
So with that one success, he gained enormous credibility. He now had a proven model, a blueprint for how science could serve the nation. And he thought, okay, this worked on a small scale. Now it's time to think bigger, much bigger.
And this right here, this was his masterpiece, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, or CSIR. It was launched in 1942, with Bhatnagar at the helm as its very first director general. And its mission? It was incredibly ambitious, to build an entire network of national research labs from the ground up, all to power India's industrial and scientific future. And they didn't just talk about it, they built it. The results were real, and they came fast. Under his leadership, this first wave of absolutely essential laboratories popped up. We're talking about labs for chemicals, physics, fuel, glass, metals, food technology. I mean, he was literally laying the scientific foundation for a modern nation. So in total, how many are we talking about? 12. He oversaw the creation of 12 national laboratories. Just let that number sink in for a second. Not one or two, 12. Each one a specialized, state-of-the-art institution built from scratch. It was a completely unprecedented feat of vision and, just as importantly, execution. So when you step back and look at his incredible career, what's the real legacy? Well, it's not just in the bricks and mortar of the buildings he put up. It's in the entire culture of science that he helped create and foster across India.
And today, his name lives on in the most direct way possible, through India's most prestigious science award, the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize. And how fitting is it that the prize was established by the CSIR, the very organization he built? It forever links his name with the absolute highest level of scientific achievement in the nation, which brings us right back to where we started. How does one person change a nation's scientific destiny? Well, in the case of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, the answer is this rare, powerful combination of pure scientific genius, a knack for practical, real-world problem-solving, and just an unwavering dedication to his country. He didn't just do science, he built the entire house for science to live in, creating a legacy that continues to empower new generations of scientists to this very day.